Hey guys, what's up? Eli here. In this video, we're going to discuss how many interests to test per ad set. So this was something that I struggled with when I was starting out, something I see a lot of the people that I work one-on-one with, they struggle with as well. And it's a common question that I get asked quite frequently. So I just really wanted to cover it in this training because I know it's a common problem and I know that this video can help some of you guys. So when I started out, I used to think that the more interest I put within an ad set, the better. Okay, I would stack 5 to 10 interests inside of an ad set. But this is really not what you want to do. Okay, it's really bad because when you actually start making sales, you don't know which one of those interests is actually working and generating the sale. So for example, if you had 10 interests stacked inside of an ad set, you don't know which one is making the sale. So you're spending all of your budget on that ad set, but you don't actually know which interest is producing the sale. There's no way to tell that on Facebook, which interest is working. So for that reason, it's really hard and makes things really complicated and, very unreliable when it comes to stacking interests, okay? Because you can't work out, there's no way when it's a data-driven platform, there's no way to read the data on which interest is working inside of that ad set. You're spending all of your money, you're allocating all of that budget onto that ad set, but you don't really know, you have no data telling you which interest is actually working. So this is what you want to do. You really just want to have one interest for every single ad set that you create, because this way you can know exactly what interest is working. But please note, okay, this only works if you are changing one variable at a time. And in this case, the variable that you're changing is the interest. Because if you change your interest, your video creative, and your ad copy, well, then you don't know which one of those changes is all of a sudden now influencing. Okay, so this is what you need to do. You really need to think of yourself like a scientist. Your ads are the experiment. Your hypothesis or hypotheses is that X product with X ad with X interest equals profitable sales. That's your hypothesis. That's what you're thinking and predicting will happen. And you run your experiment, you test your hypothesis by running your ads and then interpreting the data. But when you're conducting an experiment, for it to be a fair test and to provide you with reliable and accurate data, you really only need and should have one variable within that experiment. So if you're testing interests, then your variable is the interest. Everything else is a constant and everything else must stay the same. So everything else must be exactly the same because your experiment, you're testing the interests. So that's why the only way to really do that effectively is to have one interest inside of an ad set and keep everything else a constant so you can tell and identify which interest is actually working, so you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Okay, it's really hard to do more of what works and less of what doesn't when you can't tell for a fact what is actually working and what isn't. The only time I will ever group interests, 2 reasons, okay? One is that the audience size is too small. I usually try and go for big audiences, big, large audiences, 1 million plus. That's what I try and go for. I've always found that the smaller you go, the less audience, the more frequency score will go up, which means people are being shown your ad more and more. So you really want big audiences in my own opinion. Okay, so if an interest is too small, then I will stack some smaller interests, maybe with 100, 200,000 audience sizes together to boost it up to get it around that 800,000 million or more mark. The second reason is if the the interests that I'm stacking are proven to convert, okay? If the interests are proven, then I will try stacking them and testing all of that, okay? And I've found this to actually work very well, but I've already conducted the experiment before to work out and identify that these interests are proven to convert, okay? So at that point, I'm not testing whether or not those interests work. I know they work. I'm just seeing if they work together, okay? So that is the new experiment, okay? They're the only 2 times I'll ever test stacked interests. 1, audience size needs to be boosted. 2, I know the interests work. I just stack them to see if they work together. Okay, that's the only time. Besides that, you only ever want one interest per ad set. Okay, understand there's no way to tell which interests work on Facebook. So for that reason, you need the interest when you're testing interests to be the variable and everything else remain constant, so you can identify what works and what doesn't. So that's it for this video, guys. Moving forward, if you got any value from this, please give it a like, comment, and a subscribe if you haven't. Come and check out the Quick Start Pack. It's a really affordable pack that I put together. It's designed to help people who are just starting out save themselves a lot of time, energy, and money. And if you're looking for one-on-one help yourself, schedule a call with me. The link for that is in the description as well. And that's it from me, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.